Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to a new dragging video. I'm really excited for today's dragging video. It's Louis Vuitton, honey. So yeah, let me know what you think of it. By the way, I did a Louis Vuitton new releases video. Go check it out. It's on the Louis Vuitton playlist. So yeah, without further ado, let's get started. We're off at Louis Vuitton in Geneva in Switzerland. The Louis Vuitton in Geneva is on Rue du Rhône, which is like the Avenue Montaigne or the Fifth Avenue of Geneva. All the top tier girls, honey, have their standalone boutiques on there. Girl, like, you know, the leopards of Geneva and Switzerland are competing at those stores. I know that Switzerland has like lots of stores in other places like Zurich as well, of course, but I'm just saying like super competitive. All right. This review was written in French and then it was translated into English, so the client is Swiss. I am really disappointed with the Louis Vuitton boutique in Geneva. You're asked to wait outside for 5 minutes before you come in, even though no one has come out. I don't understand the concept. Arriving inside, a woman dispatches clients to CAs. Certainly, I wasn't well dressed enough. I was grilled by the lady who was talking to me, but then there were women who came after me and they were greeted even because they looked better. I waited 45 minutes to be served, even though the the CA had been waiting at the entrance for a long time. The CAs look down on you and stare at you, but don't calculate you. Subsequently, after being picked up, the CA left with my item upstairs as if he wanted to check that I was not bringing him a fake. Personal opinion. Seems like he was returning something. I felt demeaned because I came in my work clothes. Next time, should I put on my Rolex Daytona and put on a suit to be considered? I don't know, boo-boo. Maybe. Just saying. You know, Switzerland is Rolex's, you know, like Switzerland is Rolex's stomping grounds, honey. Maybe you should have. Or maybe get dropped off in a luxury car. Boy, you know what time it is. In any case, I deplored the same attitude in many stores on the Rue du Rhône. Having several items from the brand, I don't think I'll come back here to make a purchase. I hate being looked down upon and underestimated. The service is clearly not what one might expect. It's still really important to point out I was courteous and polite despite my terrible experience, and the CA offered me a glass of water. So it sounds like he had gone to maybe do a return or something like that. And you know, wasn't like given good service because he wasn't like dressed nicely. You know, I think I'd said this before, but like my mum used to work at the United Nations in Switzerland. I have great memories, wonderful memories, and the UN headquarters is in Geneva. I have great, beautiful, awesome memories of my life with my mum and my dad before he passed away in Geneva. And something I remember, and my sister lives in Switzerland currently now, in Geneva as well. And something I remember about Geneva and Switzerland is like, it's giving stealth wealth, honey. You know, people are not like, you know, flashing a ton of logos or anything like that, but people have money. Like, people have money. That said, this is like a very upscale, ritzy street, you know, where people do dress really nicely. I remember like the first trip when I went to Paris in December 2021. When I say first trip, I just mean first trip in terms of this channel. Obviously, I'd been there many times before. But like that trip, I remember on the Avenue Montaigne seeing women in fur coats, like real fur pelts, by the way, well, not faux, on the Avenue Montaigne, and people looking, you know, people looking like $500 million. So some of these like streets, they really do give that sense of like an old world sense of luxury, which is why he even says like the other boutiques on the Rue du Rhône have that attitude. And because he wasn't dressed nicely, he wasn't wearing a suit or a Rolex or whatever, you know, the CAs were just like bored and they just weren't trying to help. I'm not saying it's right, but we've talked about this many times in the dragging reviews. And I'm not saying he has to wear logos either, but he himself admitted he wasn't dressed nicely, he was in his work clothes. Sounds like he doesn't have a CA there or doesn't know anyone there. So they just saw, this guy's not buying anything, like, it's not worth our time. I'd love to know what you guys think about this one. He obviously has tons of money because he talks about a suit, a chauffeur, luxury car, a Daytona, you know, but as far as the, you know, Louis Vuitton CA is concerned, they don't care. And before you moan and say I'm taking their side, I just got dragged myself. I have a sense of humor about it because I think everyone gets dragged. If you say you've never been dragged, boo-boo, Come on now, don't play around. We've all been dragged, we've all been there. Let me know what you think about that one. Next one is at the Louis Vuitton boutique in Short Hills, New Jersey in the US. I visited this store with a Louis Vuitton belt I bought for my wife about 16 months ago. The LV monogramming, which is a canvas material, tore away from the leather of the belt in 3 spots. This occurred maybe after 10 times of my wife wearing the belt. The sales associate who helped immediately stated, "We don't fix that." I responded, with all the money I paid for this belt, boy, this is not acceptable, and I asked to speak with the manager. After waiting for 10 minutes, so the manager, she stated the same with this fake she stated the same with this fake SWAT looking rent-a-security guard behind her. Yo, that's a good line. This person's a troll. Like, whoever you are, you need to go join my Facebook group because I'm also a troll. I like that. SWAT, like looking like SWAT. She just repeated the LV company line, "It's worn and we don't fix that. I'll never buy an LV product again at this store and another." The manager said she was okay with this too. Yes, yes, I love it. I love the drama. First of all, you, sir, boo-boo, you are bang out of order. Your wife wore that belt 10 times. That belt is worn, okay, with a Z. It is worn. Guys, people are doing way too much and expect this stuff to be indestructible, like it can never show wear and tear. It has been worn. Okay, so you are bang out of order and your wife is also bang out of order. Okay, we don't, and you know, with wear and tears, someone's worn a belt 10 times, you're opening it, you're closing it, you're opening it, or whatever, you're putting it on, whatever. And the CA saying we don't fix that. And then the manager coming with the cavalry, okay? He calls them the SWAT rent-a-security guard behind her. That's a good clap back, but at the end of the day, you're not getting your money back when you're, or whatever, because that thing has been worn. And then the manager clapping back, saying she was okay with him never coming back. I mean, that's probably a bit unprofessional, but it is funny. I'm sorry. Guys, I'm sorry. Okay? I'm trying to pull myself together, but I just think people are delusional and unrealistic. Sorry. It's been worn 10 times. Get a grip. The next one is also from this boutique, the Short Hill store. I'm amazed that I showed an employee an item they had in stock and was ready to purchase at 7 p.m. when the boutique closes at 9. I was told the waitlist was full for the evening. I was ready to hand the sales rep my debit card from outside the store for an item that hasn't been in stock for several months throughout my search. I will not be returning to the store for the item and will now wait to purchase online. I think it's ridiculous that as a customer I'm ready to purchase an item I was not allowed in the store. As I watched other people wait in line to simply look around, I was ready to purchase and neglected to make a purchase due to this fact. I'm really disappointed with the lack of initiative to make money in this store. This is a good example of the fundamental disconnect between what a customer expects of Big LV and her monogram wig Henny and her monogram clothing, and what Big LV expects of us. This person sounds like they understand Louis Vuitton. They know Louis Vuitton. They're looking for a product that's been out of stock, so they know how things go at Louis Vuitton. If you know how things go, you know that they want to do one-to-one service. Whether you don't have to like it, whether you like it or not is neither here nor there. I must say, like, that experience in Johannesburg of like making an appointment prior to like, you know, purchasing the earrings, which I'm wearing by the way, and the pocket organizer for my husband and stuff. Making the appointment, it was fairly stress-free. I don't like appointments because I don't like a monopoly on my time. I want to be able to walk to the store and walk in. So I understand this person. They just want to walk in and pay and leave. But I think, like, for this kind of day and age that we live in now, you just need to make an appointment to just minimize the stress. Should have just made the appointment, gone to pay for it, and then left. That would have been fine. Instead of stressing, you know, yourself out, being like, oh, it's closing in 2 hours, oh, let me pay. You know, that's not how Louis Vuitton wants to do it. And if you're gonna leave, you know, you're not getting one up on the man. You know, I know people think that they are. You're not. you still don't have the item that you want, which is at Louis Vuitton. Louis Vuitton is not going to lose any sleep over because there's going to be someone else in that queue who's going to buy that item, or there'll be someone else the next morning who's going to buy that item, and you're still without your item. Like, I don't get it. Let me know what you think about that one. The next one is from Louis Vuitton Toronto on Bloor Street in Toronto, of course, in Canada. This was an underwhelming experience today at this store. Firstly, the staff are initially unwelcoming. They follow you around the store after you've made a purchase. No valet, no umbrellas, and no glass of champagne after making a $5,000 purchase. LV scaling back around all of the luxuries that make the brand experience worth the expense. I think this is a fair criticism, and many people have talked about this. We crack jokes about this all the time in the Chanel dragging videos about the champagne police, you know, because you see this in a lot of the Chanel dragging videos. Chanel shoppers, they're looking to see who's getting champagne. But I do think, yes, $5,000, you know, yes, in terms of the grand scheme of Louis Vuitton, $5,000 is, you know, just getting the show on the road. I get that, but $5,000 is a lot to this individual, and I do think $5,000, like, as a transaction, I think it's a good transaction. It's a good amount. It's not $50,000, okay, it's not $10,000, but it is a bit of money. It would be nice, yes, to be offered a glass of champagne. I think that would be nice. I have an idea though, if you guys will just humor me for a second. If this is important to you, and by the way, it's okay if this is important to you. We crack jokes about it all the time on the dragging videos just because we like to have a laugh about it. But it is a lot of money, and I think it's fine if you would like that experience. I would like that experience too. And yes, I would like you to offer me something to drink, yes, if I'm gonna buy luxury items. However, the thing of the no glass of champagne, yes, I think if you're spending $5,000, yes, I would like you to offer me a glass of champagne, yes. However, the no valet, I'm guessing he means for like parking, no umbrellas. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but I feel like, and this sounds horrible, so, you know, forgive me in advance, you know, if you don't like what I'm about to say, but I feel like, you know, they want to do that for the people who are spending like 50,000, you know, like 30,000, 40,000, 50,000. I would assume that if you're going to spend that, they're going to kind of, you know, yeah, you know, would we, you know, would you like us to open the car for you, or let's walk you to your car and like put the things in, you know, in that, or if you haven't come by car, you know, I'm sure that they would love to help and make sure that you get back home safely to the hotel. I'm not saying it's right, but I do think it's only fair that if you spend a ton, you should have a great experience. However, I do think it's unfortunate this individual wasn't given, you know, that sort of like pampering feel. They should still be offering the champagne and the drink. Some of you have told me, oh, you know, don't drink, that's fine. But you should still offer it so that the person can say no, and it doesn't matter if the person doesn't drink champagne. I drink champagne, honey. I speak fluent Moet, fluent Krug, fluent Bollinger. Yes, absolutely, fluent Veuve Clicquot. Yes, you know, when I go on these like European jaunts, I would like to be offered champagne, and I don't mind if it's 11:45 in the morning. Okay, I would like you to offer me some. Okay, I was offered a Coke in the Joburg store. That's fine. In Gucci we were offered something as well. That's cool. It was like a sparkling water. It was nice. And remember with Gucci they offered, because they realized they didn't offer until they saw my husband's profile and they saw Edwin's profile. Then they offered us the drinks to take away with us. Okay, cool. Being offered drinks, it is not the barometer for like a great experience, but the bottom line is it is important to a lot of people. And I do think if someone is spending, you know, 5,000, I feel like it would be nice if you like offer them something to drink. Yes, so I do agree with that. This one is also from Bloor Street, Louis Vuitton in Toronto in Canada. I'd made an appointment this weekend for my birthday, as my husband's gift to me was going to buy a Louis Vuitton bag. The CA, she says the gentleman's name, so I don't want to say his name because I don't think it's fair, because they're not here to defend themselves, had texted me earlier that day to confirm my appointment, and also to ask if there's anything I was interested in, okay? I let him know which bag I had wanted so he could put it aside for me, and I asked if they had multiples because a friend of mine was interested in purchasing one as well. He did not respond to my text. This is the omen. The Mary Celeste is lost. The ghost of the Mary Celeste has entered the chat. Okay, here we go. We showed up to the boutique. We were not greeted by him as he was busy on a computer. We went to introduce ourselves. He brought out my purse and left us, not saying anything. 5 minutes later, he comes back. I had some questions I wanted to ask him regarding the bag. He received an incoming call, stops me. Let me stop you right there. And leaves to answer his phone. At this point, after being ignored and dismissed for 15 minutes, my husband and I decided to leave, as clearly he didn't care to be helpful and was in fact incompetent as a CA. This was a super awful experience, and if you're looking for great customer service, do not go to the Bloor Louis Vuitton. We then went to Louis Vuitton at Holt Renfrew. We had a fabulous experience and purchased the bag I was looking for. Not only did Bloor lose a client, but I'll be making all of my purchases with new CA's name at Holt Renfrew moving forward. Okay, so a few things. Literally this like dragging review, it's like seriously, it's like literally watching the Mary Celeste disappear into fog as I'm reading it. When the CA number one was like, okay, cool, what do you want? She mentions the bag. When she said, I do have multiples of it because my friend is interested in purchasing one, it's giving reseller honey. It's giving Madison Avenue Couture. It's giving Saclam. Okay, the CA was bored, tired, because they're thinking maybe I can't sell other top tier things. Again, not saying it's right, not defending them, but we all know that Louis Vuitton's really sensitive about this. If you remember back to May when I went to London, remember I told you guys that I saw a client at the Louis Vuitton in Harrods. She had like 4 capucines and she was like taking all of them. I was like watching her being like, yep, I'm taking that, I'm taking that, I'm taking that. I feel like when you're face to face, it's a little bit more different. She should have waited until she had gotten to the appointment to be like, oh, by the way, my friend wants one, can I buy one for her? Or even better, I would just like to buy one for my friend as well, as a gift as well, or something like that. But the moment she was like, do you have multiples of it? The CA is like, this person's a reseller. And obviously CA was super rude, but I'm just saying, just putting it out there. Sorry. We all know it's true, so I'm just saying. The next one is from Louis Vuitton in Vancouver at the flagship store in Canada. I had the worst experience at this Louis Vuitton. The CA assigned to me was super snobby, gave me attitude. I already had something in mind but was out of stock. I asked her if she knows if it will go back in stock. Then she was all snappy and said, there are many people waiting over a year for that bag. Rude. I asked her if there was something similar, and I can tell she has no desire to help me. She went behind the counter, whipped out some random bags that didn't fit my description. I just left and spent my money at YSL instead, where the staff is much friendlier as well. Okay, so I think a few things, I think we've all been there when like a CA is like snarky and says something quite snarky to you. I found that it's always just best not to just don't respond and don't get upset. Just be like, oh, okay, can you show me other things? I'm that person who's like, continue to show me things because I am here to look at things and you're not going to ruin my day. Because when the CA was like, there are many people waiting over a year for that bag, the CA is basically telling her like, your profile isn't like strong enough to have this bag. I would have just been like, okay, do you have anything else that's really cool? Like, do you have any other pieces you want to show me? I'd love to see what you guys have on offer. Like, I wouldn't let the person's like bad day like ruin my excitement to be there, because as I always tell you guys, they don't own the store. No one owns the store. So everyone should be allowed to enjoy the brand the way that they want. Let me know what you think about that one. The final review is a local review from the Louis Vuitton in Prague, from the Czech Republic. So it's someone who wrote in Czech and then it was translated into English. Horrible experience. Today we decided to go pick up a gift. I'm absolutely disappointed with the behavior of the staff. When I arrived, they treated me like I was a rag because I'm not wearing top tier clothes. When we wanted someone to attend to me, I was told I was last on the list and to wait. I'm never going there again. I'd rather go to another country to buy the goods. The staff should realize just because a person isn't wearing gold belts doesn't mean they're poor and can't afford to shop at that store. This client is from the Czech Republic and is obviously talking about the boutique in Prague. Yo, this store has like 900 reviews. I've never seen a store with so many reviews. Many local reviews, so many people who speak Czech and who are from the Czech Republic talking about the boutique, saying how it's really horrible, a lot of people have complained about this store. So when I was reading like the reviews, I was like, whoa, this is a gold mine for dragging videos. Because there's so many people who are really upset about this store, and I'm not laughing at it like, ooh, you know, I'm just saying, you know, again, we've talked about this before. I have said this to you guys many times before. You'll notice that the boutiques in Europe, the Geneva store, the Geneva dragging story, and this dragging story of the Czech Republic, I mean, these are the ones in Europe. You know, we've talked about it before, how in Europe, the culture for dressing, even like a casual, effortless, chilled out day in Europe, for men and women in terms of dressing is still very sleek. It's you know, it still looks really good. I'm just saying in Europe, dressing up and dressing really nicely is still very much a thing, for sure. You know, and in all of the major European capitals, whether it's Geneva, London, Paris, Berlin, or Prague, people look nice and people look snatched. And even a casual European look is still snatched. You know, it's just something to think about, particularly in these like high-end stores. So I'd love to know what you think about today's dragging video. If you love Louis Vuitton, I'd love to see you in my Facebook groups. It's linked below. I'd love to see more Louis Vuitton leopards following me. So go find me on Facebook, follow my Instagram, sign up for the email newsletter as well. Yeah, I'd just love to see you guys on all of my socials. Just let me know if you watch this video and drop a comment below as well, so I know what's going on with you. You know, everyone says there's a recession, there's all this stuff going on. Let me know if you're still watching my content so I know that you're here, okay? Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next week in my subsequent videos.